Hi, my name is Ashley Evans, and I'll be talking about the barriers to increasing the number of Black practicing midwives here in the United States. In 2019, the American Midwifery Certification Board released a demographics report stating that there are approximately 12,000 midwives that are either CNMs or CEMs practicing here in the US. Of those 12,000, 733 identify as Black. So 6.3% of our CNM or CEM workforce is Black identifying. However, according to the 2019 US Census, 13.4% of the US population is Black. We know racially concordant care and access to midwives improve both neonatal and maternal outcomes. So why do we have 733 people servicing approximately 40 million people in this country? We only have 5 minutes, so we'll discuss just two of the barriers to increasing Black midwives, and that's lack of federal funding to support CNMs and lack of funding and legislative support for CPM, certified practicing midwives. The American College of Nurse Midwifery released a legislative brief stating that the average CNM degree is approximately $54,000. It was presented as a cost-affordable alternative to becoming an OBGYN. However, student loans don't treat all races the same. And when you break that down, it's actually not an affordable alternative. According to a survey done by the American Association of Colleges of Nursing in 2017, only 27% of respondents reported receiving either Title VIII or any scholarship or institutional funding to help pay for their degrees. So that means that students are relying on student loans in order to pay for these degrees. And student loans don't treat all races the same. After 4 years after graduation, 48% of Black people owe 12.5% more than they borrowed, while 83% of white people owe 12% less. And this is attributed to gaps in pay wage gaps. There is a more cost-affordable alternative than becoming a CNM. You can also become a certified practicing midwife by going to a MEC accredited institution. However, to become a CPM is to have a limited scope on your practice. CPMs have a path to licensure in 34 states. However, they are either unregulated or completely outlawed in the remaining states. So even though it is more affordable to become a CPM, it also has more legislative obstacles to becoming a practicing midwife. Why does this matter? If we know that racially concordant care and Black centering improves maternal outcomes, then these barriers that lead to lethargic changes and increasing our workforce diversity in midwifery are discouraging, and they have a direct effect on addressing our racial disparities in maternal morbidity. These barriers, in my personal opinion, are not systemic, but they're actually conscious decisions by people in leadership, and not just leadership, but also in professional organizations. These barriers are neither new, but they are historical, and they are proven to be very, very effective at disenfranchising Black communities. In fact, it was these exact same tools and techniques, legislatively limiting practices, financially discouraging midwives, that led to the almost complete and total eradication of our granny midwives, or our historic Black midwives who traditionally practiced CPM and brought the practice of midwifery here to the United States. It is a continuation of these trends in the face of both mass publication and mass funding to address racial disparities in maternal morbidity that make it increasingly difficult to believe that we will ever genuinely and truly address the racial disparities in maternal morbidity. So what do we need and how do we fix this? Number one, federal funding should go to ideas surrounding racially concordant care and Black centering and not weathering. As stated by Dr. Monica McLemore in the Scientific American, it is racism, not race, that is a risk factor to maternal morbidity. Every dollar that goes to researching weathering and what's wrong with Black bodies is a dollar that is not going to studying innovative solutions to revolutionary ideas regarding our current system of maternal care. Also, federal funding, federal scholarships should go to individual Black identifying students and not their institution. currently diversity workforce scholarships in education that come through HRSA go to the institution, and the institution has to meet certain prerequisites and qualifications in order to qualify for those scholarships. If the institution does not qualify for those scholarships, however, you're not hurting the institution, you're actually hurting the Black identifying students that go to those institutions, further perpetuating those barriers to increasing the diversity workforce that this scholarship was supposedly intent on remedying in the first place. That is my presentation. Thank you for listening.